Welcome to today's daily market recap. In today's episode, I'm going to break down my trades in the morning. I'm going to walk you through the stocks I traded, why I thought they had the potential to go higher, and I'm going to share with you my entries and my exits. Now, I wasn't sure what this morning would have in store for us because on Friday, we had an incredible move. MLGO, small cap Chinese stock, goes up 750%. But as you know, if you watch my recap on Friday, I struggled with it. In fact, I lost $16,000 trading it. And I gave back basically all the profit I had made on the day on other stocks. So I finished Friday up $1,300 versus my $20,000 daily goal. Not a great day. And what really felt discouraging for me was the fact that I had peaked at $18,000 on the day and then just slowly eroded all of that profit till it was basically gone. So really, it was actually my worst day of the year so far. And it was surprising because, you would think worst day of the year would be on a day where there's nothing moving or there's a lot of big rejections. I lost on a stock that went up 700%. How is that possible? It was extremely choppy. And in fact, I saw a lot of people who traded it both long and short in the same account, and they lost both directions, which just speaks to how difficult it was, not just for me, but for a lot of traders. So as MLGO closed into the after-hours session, it had given back about half of the profit or the gain that it had made on the day. So I was left wondering what that sort of meant for Monday morning. Would traders be looking for the next Chinese small cap stock? Well, it seemed like the sentiment among most traders was that MLGO is really hard to trade. So I wasn't sure if people would really be excited about the next Chinese stock. But no doubt a stock going up 700% is going to fuel some FOMO in the market and get people excited. And so let's jump onto the screen share and start breaking down the trades here from today. So ATCH right now is up 300%. Now, it was actually up about 62% after hours on Friday. And, so was GSUN was also up about 66% on Friday, and RETO is up about 175% on Friday. This was in the after hours session. So, and STEC was up 35%. So we had four stocks that were already starting to lead the way Friday after hours, but it doesn't always sort of work that something from Friday will continue on Monday. Over the weekend, people forget about it, and then Monday sort of whatever is at that time typically has fresh news that came out Monday morning. But nonetheless, the first stock I actually traded today was STEC. So STEC, if we look at the 5-minute chart, you can see that this squeezed up on Friday, and then Monday morning, 4 a.m. goes from 80 cents all the way up to $3 a share. Boom. We've got a 300% squeeze on the scanners. So I look at this, I see it's a Chinese stock, and I'm thinking, oh, not again. In fact, right now it's got 83 million shares of volume. It's crowded, it's thickly traded. However, MLGO was not clean during the pre-market session on Friday. It didn't really start to move until the market opened. And so usually I do better trading pre-market. We don't have halt levels. I can often see cleaner price action. And so for that reason, because STEC was starting to squeeze pre-market, I did take a trade on it right here. So I took a trade going up to this level here, which was 319, the pre-market high. And on my first trade of the day on STEC, I made $874.99. Okay, so I'm on the leaderboard. I'm in the green. It's nothing crazy, but look, I'm breaking the ice and I'm building a little bit of a cushion on the day. And that was my goal for today. I said, let's start by building a cushion, trading pre-market, breaking news, and then once we come into the open, size down. Because what I do not want to do is I do not want to have a repeat of Friday where I make $15,000, $18,000 and give it all back. Doing that one day is bad enough. Doing it 2 days in a row, that's where you're going to start to get really angry. You start getting angry, you start getting frustrated, you're going to get stubborn in your trading. All of those emotions, when they come out into trading, creates emotionally fueled trading decisions, and that is not a recipe for success. So because I knew that that was a risk for me, I had to be a little more defensive today than I would have been if Friday had just been a regular, solid green day. And that actually speaks to something that I think is important. When you have a big setback like I did on Friday, and it felt big to me because it was my worst day of the year, even though I was green, it was the first day of the year that I had my daily goal, basically 4 times the daily goal. $20,000 is my hot market daily goal. So I hit that basically on Friday, 18,000, close enough. And then I gave it all back. So I lost $18,000, and that's how I basically finished the day. Well, I finished up 1,300, but you get the idea. So it was the worst day of the year. And so there's the double cost of losing the $18,000 or $16,000 that I lost on Friday. And then the secondary cost is that comes from the loss of confidence. So I had a little bit of a loss in confidence because I just felt like this morning I was nervous about having a continuation of that poor trading that I sort of finished the day with on Friday, right? Because this is the thing. My last trades on Friday, my last 3 trades of the day were losing trades. It was like loser, loser, loser. So let's see. I can grab a screenshot. Actually, it doesn't work super well. So let me just grab a screenshot over here. My monitors are like kind of funny resolution. I'll just paste this over here for you to see. Let's see. So this is my P&L for the day on Friday. All right, so I'll just crop this like that and zoom it in. All right, so that was my equity curve for Friday. So basically it was like right up to the daily goal and then lost a chunk, another chunk, and then another chunk before I finally accepted and, submitted to the market and accepted defeat. So what I was worried about was coming into Monday, boom, 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 right? And now I'm just beginning a drawdown because that's how I finished the week, right? So that's what I was worried about. So I started the day a little bit cautiously on STEC, made $800 on it. So I'm like, okay, that's good. It didn't go higher. And so at that point I was like, well, that's fine. The next stock I traded was ATCH. So ATCH right here at 7 a.m., it was already on my scanners because it was gapping up. It had made this gap up after hours or had started moving after hours on Friday, pulled back a little bit, and then right here as it started to squeeze up, I took my first entry at $3.76. I wish I could have those shares back, but that's not how it works. It was the right move for me to get in when I got in and to take profit when I took profit. So where I got in right here was on this micro pullback. Basically, it pops up, it dips for a second. I'm in right there, 376. It goes right up to 415, 420. And so what did I do? I took profit. I sold at 418. The stock's now at $12 a share. But of course, at the time, I had no way of knowing it would go that high. So I took my profit at 418. It dips down. And then what do? I add back, of course. So I add back and we get this squeeze here up to 450. It pulls back again. We get another squeeze back here up to 465. We pull, or 480. We pull back. We get another squeeze here up to 510. And right in that window right there, I was able to lock up about $15,000 of profit. Not quite. It's about $14,000. So I had some really nice trades on it right in this area. A move from 340 to 440 to $5 a share. That's a solid rate of change. So that's on the 10-second time frame. Now, on the 1 minute, we can back this up. And you can see it's still squeezing higher, but I'm not going to trade it. And I'm not going to get FOMO. It doesn't matter how high it goes at this point. I've made my money. I did what I had to do. And I'm not going to overstay my welcome. So, here, this was sort of that first squeeze. Basically straight up to 5, pulls back, pushes a little higher, dips back here, is underneath volume weighted average price. So this is an unusual area because it's underneath the VWAP right here. The MACD has gone negative. There's really no reason to think that this is something that we should buy. And yet suddenly it squeezes back up to the new high. And so this is an example where the stock sort of defied logic, defied what was expected. And the result is that short sellers were caught because they felt confident being short with a MACD crossover and it breaking below VWAP. And then suddenly it's back at high a day and they're forced to cover. And now long bias traders like myself are jumping in right here because we're just like, holy smokes, this thing is back at the high. We're back in strength. And now the MACD is back to positive. So as we're trading it up here for the squeeze up to $5.75 and up to $6, shorts are covering. So we get a little bit of a move here up to this new level. Then it pulls back, it dips down. And on this candle here, we have a little bit of a nasty rejection. And I actually lost about a third of my profit on the day. I went from up about 14,000 on the day to up 11,000. And I thought, okay, that's a little setback. It's not the end of the world, but it's a little setback. I connected this trend line right here, this blue trend line connecting those dots, those highs. And it came back up here and I was like, nope, not doing that. Drops again, sells off, comes back up again. I said, nope, can't buy it here. Descending resistance, right? pulls back, comes back up. Now it tries to hold over that level, but not very well. It pulls back again, sells off, and coming into the open, we're dipping back down. And then all of a sudden, look at this squeeze. Up to 540, pulls back, up to 580, pulls back, up to 850, pulls back, up to 10. And right now, what are we at? A high of 13. And here's the thing. The profit that I made on it, which is totaled at $10,995, because I gave back a little bit of profit right there, right? I made all of that pre-market. Sadly, I didn't break the ice on it through this area, but I'll walk you through why. So I got myself up to 21,000 on the day, but it was because I traded other stocks that came up on the scanners. So in this area here, going into the open, there were other stocks I was more focused on. PEPG that I'm up $4,000 on, that gave us a nice squeeze going into the open. So rather than putting it over on that chart, I'm just going to drag another chart here just to show you. So I'll go like this. So PEPG, this one, we got a really nice trade on at the open from $2.50 up to $4.50 a share. That's $2 a share. That was a nice move. Now, I didn't make as much on it as I could have. It was sort of a funny time of day that it was kind of squeezing here. The float's a little higher at 15 million shares, so I reduced my share size on it a bit, but I locked up $4,000 on PEPG. And then we had YYAI. YYAI, this was squeezing pre-market, a nice push here from $1.10 all the way up to over $2 a share. Captured about $5,000 on that one, but that one started to pull back at the open. And then we had GSUN. This one squeezes up at the open as well. This is one of the ones on Friday that had popped up. It's also a Chinese stock. Now, I have to approach all of these Chinese stocks with some degree of skepticism and caution as per the move on Friday, but I'm not going to say I won't trade them at all. And it would be a mistake for me to do that because in total, I do make money on them. Friday, not a great day, but that was more the exception than the norm. So I was focused on a couple other stocks going into the open, and then ATCH starts to squeeze. So let's go to the open and I'll show you what this looks like. And we're going to be zoomed in on this 10-second time frame. So this is now going to give you an understanding of why I didn't want to trade it. I saw it pop up here and then it flushed down. Then it came back up and it flushes again. It came back up and it flushes again. It comes back up and flushes again. So I saw that happen several times in a row and I was like, boy, this is a risky stock. This is reminding me of MLGO at this point because it's flushing so hard. Comes back up, flushes again. Pops back up, flushes again. So I'd actually pulled it up right in this area here, and I was getting ready to trade it because what I was looking for was a break through our pre-market high. Our pre-market high was about 590. So as it came up right here, I thought, gosh, we're not far away from that level. But then it knifes down, and I said, oh, thank goodness, I'm glad I didn't trade it. And then it comes back up again to 580, and then it drops down again right there. And then it comes back up right here, and as it's right here, I have it up. I'm watching the level 2, and I've got my hand on the buy button, and I'm like, do I pull the trigger? And I looked at it, and I said, here's the problem. This is the information that I had at the moment. We had this high of 590, it pulled back. I said, yeah, did we have news on it? Yeah, we had news Friday after hours, but unfortunately right now, I'm nervous. We've seen a couple of big red jackknife candles. And right here, we've got only one candle pullback, and we're a bit extended off our 9 moving average. I said, I think this is too risky for a pop and jackknife back down. You know that move I'm talking about where we get that big jackknife? It pops up for a second, up to 6, and then flushes to 5. And I just thought to myself in that moment, I said, Ross, I look at you in the mirror in the morning and I think, man, that guy's got great hair. But then I say, let's get focused. We're talking about trading, right? Okay. Well, where am I? Ross, when it comes to trading, what you did on Friday was no good. You had a great day and you let it slip away and it was gone. I can't do that again today. I cannot let that happen 2 days in a row because if it does, I'm going to be so upset. And so the downside, if I continue to trade, is going back to the emotion that I was in on Friday, but even worse. The upside, if I continue to trade, well, how much would I really make? Probably wouldn't take big share size because I can't take the risk. So is it even worth it? And I said, it's not. It's not worth it. Not with the way this one's trading. And so I gave my commentary on it. I shared the reasons I was cautious about it. But then next thing you know, it breaks 580 and goes straight to 660. So let's zoom in on that candle. Just instantly. And I think that was a lot of short covering, short sellers covering positions. But it taps 660 and then drops all the way back down to 580. So it had a topping tail candle, which is bearish. But then it rallies back up and halts up. But it opens, it dips down, and I was watching it again here. I said, I was just, at this point, I wasn't really thinking I would trade it. I was just watching it. And I was like, it looks interesting over 7, but I'm not taking the risk. It breaks 7, it goes to 740. It squeezed up to 780. It pulls back, it rallies back up over 8, squeeze up to 840, another topping tail candle. It dips back down. Then it comes back up, and we get a double top at 840. And then it drops back down. And right here, I said, this is a flat top breakout setup. It looks nice, but I can't take the risk. At this point, you've got a couple big green candles in a row. It's just too extended. I just can't risk it. It looks good, but I don't have the cushion. I just, after what happened on Friday, I can't risk it. It breaks, it goes up to 9, micro pullback, goes up to 9.15, micro pullback, goes up to 10, and then knifes back down $1 a share. Okay, so that was a little bit of redemption for me. I was like, there you go, right? Because, schmuck that I am, I would have bought this thing at 10. I would have, traded it, small size, small size, small size, small size, small size, built a cushion. Then I'm like, here we go. This is the big trade, and up to 20,000 shares, and then gone. So I'm glad that I was sitting on the sidelines, and then big knife there, bounces back up, rallies, another topping tail candle. So shorts cover, but it's not enough to send it all the way to a halt. It drops down. Another big drop, another big drop. Drops back down and then comes up. Look at that topping tail. See, this is very hard to trade. Now you've got big range. We've got a lot of range, but at this point, the easiest trades are behind us. And it's important to be able to admit that and accept that. So, I wish that I wish that Friday hadn't happened, because if Friday hadn't happened, I would have come into today feeling so much more confident. And I probably would have traded more aggressively because I wouldn't have been on the defense. But I had that double cost, the loss on Friday and then the loss of confidence that caused me to be a bit more defensive today. So, but today has gone more or less exactly according to plan, which is I'm at my $20,000 hot market daily goal. I traded a number of different stocks. I'm only red on one stock, in fact, and the loss is small. And I'm walking away, with profit in my pocket, sure, leaving a little money on the table, no doubt, but I'm walking away in a pretty good spot here. This is a good start to the week. So now we take a look at the trades sort of, big picture over the last 30 days or whatever. And it's like, all right, had a little slow stretch there, then a really nice move here. And then, there was Friday. All right, that little outlier day, that wasn't great. And then where's Monday going to be? Right back to here. So let's just get back on track. Let's try to do that again Tuesday, try to do it again Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that's going to have me finishing February in great shape. So $372,000 on the month, add today in, that's $392, whatever, $393. And, over $400,000 is certainly within reach. In fact, 500 wouldn't be impossible if we had a couple more really good days and I get my confidence back. And it's going to be back. I'm going to be sitting down tomorrow feeling a heck of a lot better than I was feeling this morning because I just had a solid green day. And we're seeing some stocks that have continued even higher. So the market's showing some real strength. So I'm feeling good at this point going into the week. A couple hours ago, not as much, but I'm feeling a lot better now. And I really don't, I feel a little FOMO, but not too much, because I talked myself out of the trade for good reasons. And so, that doesn't feel like I really missed something. I could have traded it and I chose not to because I couldn't manage my risk. So that was and that was the right choice. I really think it was. So that's how I finished the day here. Now, if you guys want to watch me trading live, you can do a 2-week trial here at Warrior Trading. It's 2 weeks for $20. So it's a $20 2-week trial, and you can watch over my shoulder while I'm trading. You'll see my dashboard right here. You'll see Day Trade Dash, and you'll also be able to actually use this software during your trial. So when you come over to Warrior Trading, you'll be able to launch this. You'll be able to use the charts. You'll have the scanners. It's all web-based, so it works on a Mac, works on Windows, doesn't matter. And you can actually get a feel for what it's like to use this software. So at Warrior Trading, we have the software subscriptions that people subscribe to on a monthly basis for the scanners, the charts, the news feed. And then, of course, we've got the educational component, which is the classes and the courses where I teach you guys how to use this software, but I also teach you in general how to trade and the specifics and details of the strategy that I trade every single day. So during your 2-week trial, you'll get access to the software. You'll also get access to my broadcast, and you'll get access to a selection of classes from my full-length Warrior Pro curriculum. So you can get a kind of a flavor of how I teach, and you can get a sense of whether or not you think you want to be a full-time member of the community. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this recap. Thank you, as always, for tuning in, and I will see you live streaming tomorrow at 7 a.m. Reminder, as always, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, so please take it slow, manage your risk, and practice in a simulator before putting real money on the line. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning.